place winners. So would you please welcome to present this essay, the wonderful Katie Stowe.
I was safe. Safe from chemicals, instruments, abortions, and murderous crime. No one knew who I would be or what I would look like. No ultrasounds, no tests, no judgments. I was safe in my mother's womb. No one saw that my legs were not fully forming. No one saw that there were not 10 little fingers. In fact, no one even saw that there were no hands. I was safe. Dr. Ben Carson has spoken out about how unsafe a mother's womb has become. He says, millions upon millions of innocent little human beings who have no chance of defending themselves are placed in the safest environment that God could place them in, and we have found a way to go in there and murder them. Abortion is common and a seemingly easy choice for women who are not ready, don't have the resources, or who carry a handicapped or disabled baby. I am here today to share my story, hoping it will change how people rationalize abortion, and to tell you there is no decision to be made. I was born with major hip and arm deformities. My birth mother didn't know about my physical differences in utero, so that did not affect her decision to put me up for adoption. The family who had planned to adopt me after birth rejected me once notified of my deformities. You see, I was born with half of my thigh bones, deformed hip sockets, short arms, no hands, and only one finger. When I was 3 years old, I underwent major hip surgery to reconstruct my legs, and eventually would have a total of 6 hip surgeries, the most recent being last year. I have tried several prosthetic devices for my arms with no success. I've had pain and discomfort from my legs. I've experienced some social awkwardness because of my arms, and my life has been dotted with medical appointments which have become commonplace to me. This is a depressing view of my life. I want you to understand that this does not define my life or who I am. This is a factual account with all the joy and happiness I've experienced removed. My story contains much more than you can see by looking at me. I was adopted when I was a few months old into a wonderful family. I have 9 siblings and an amazing mom and dad. Since I was little, my parents have encouraged me to pursue interests and hobbies. For me, that hobby was drawing. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I also enjoy singing, playing piano, and filmmaking. I love strengthening my skills and doing things I enjoy. I love spending time with my family and friends, road trips, sports, homemade pizza, letter writing, water fights, ping pong, sneaky pranks, my personal favorite, and movie nights. I love living. My life is full and I am so happy. Yet, what if my birth mother had made a different decision? What if she had ended my life? I have been given life, but what if I had been seen by an ultrasound? What if you had been the one to decide my fate? I wonder why taking a human life should be a choice anyone can make. Please stop and think with me for a moment. If I was your baby, what would you choose to do? Picture it this way. You decide to get an ultrasound. You see your baby lying in the womb, arms only half formed, legs not fully developed or attached to the hip. You seek medical advice. The doctors tell you this child will face many surgeries, experience pain, be subject to ridicule, and above all, will never be normal. Would you consider abortion out of fear that your baby would not have the definition of a normal life? Since 1973, over 57 million babies have been aborted, and the numbers are growing. Why? Because women choose to enter into relationships which run the risk of pregnancy, yet are not willing to accept the consequence should it occur. Why can't we see the choice has been made and the consequence is a baby. 23 states, including Illinois, where I was born, enforce protection of unborn babies in situations where the child is injured or killed in the earliest stages of pregnancy. For example, in the state of Illinois, if a drunk driver causes a car accident that takes the life of a pregnant mother, the charge is double murder, meaning the unborn baby is included in that charge. But a pregnant woman can make a decision to abort her baby, and suddenly we fail to see it as a life. One situation is defined as murder, the other poorly defined as choice. Frankly, in the political world, abortion isn't about viability. And honestly, it's not even about the baby. To stress this, I want to quote Kate Smurthwaite, who is Vice Chairman of Abortion Rights UK. She and a pro-life activist debated the ethics of abortion. Kate said some very interesting things in her introduction, and I want to highlight her point. I don't really think the issue is about when life begins, because I think that ultimately, even if this is a life, we still have the right to choose. If you don't, then what you effectively are saying is that at any point in a woman's life, she can lose her right to be a human being, and instead she becomes, against her will, an incubator for a child that she does not want. Contrary to what Kate said, what we need to understand is this. We are not being forced against our will to be an incubator. We are not losing our rights as a human being. This is not depriving us of the ability to choose. It is only, like everything else, forcing us to accept the consequence of a choice we have already made. Some people tell me my story is amazing, or even inspirational, but I want you to forget that. Look back at my deformed figure in the womb of a young single mother. I was the consequence of a choice my birth mother made. I wouldn't have been here if she, like so many others, had taken my life wrongly in the name of choice or convenience. Instead, she accepted the consequence of her choice and gave me life. That is the most precious gift she could have ever given me. The abortion issue isn't about disabled babies, about convenience, about quality of life, or what fits in our schedule. This whole issue is about accepting the consequence of our actions. We need to help those around us stand up and have the courage to accept the consequence of their choice, because a life hangs in the balance. It could have been yours. It could have so easily been mine. Thank you.